Dude, did you hear about this guy that was handing out razor blades with Halloween candy? Look at this. Look at this. Man arrested for allegedly handing out razor blades with Halloween candy in none other than Connecticut. 37 years old. What was his name? Jason.
That's such a Jason thing to do. I've known some dirty Jasons in my life.
Dude. But what do you even do as a parent that your kid got Halloween candy?
The real question is, how do they figure that out? Like, what is the ratio of candy to razor blades? Like, because if it was just a couple, is it really that bad?
Look at this. A three-year-old child who lives at home also had access to the box of razor blades that was seized and lodged into evidence.
I'm confused on the whole story. Are you getting boxes of razor blades? Are you getting razor blades that are just in there with the candy? Because, like, dude, it would be quick. Like, if you dug your hand in that, you'd get sliced.
What if he was just, like, taping razor blades to each candy bar, and he's like, God, this is so annoying.
And then the kids ate the razor blade?
No, I mean, like, you would just grab it. I guess you'd cut it. I was just thinking to the outside.
Yeah,
you put it inside? You can't put it inside.
How long did that take to figure out that this dude was, like, you could put if you even skim a razor blade, you're bleeding.
Yeah.
This guy must have given it to one kid. And he was squealing. What's in there?
Yeah, you know it was a mom. You know it was a mom.
Yeah, a mom with no father there. Yeah. Just taking the 4 kids out like, God damn it.
I am never taking my Jimmy out there ever again. Literally had to be Connecticut. This is how bored people are. This is how bored Jason is.
And Mike's like, Shauna, it's not a big deal. Jason was just trying to be a nice guy. And were they full clip razor blades? Because we have ones that are like...
I don't know.
Because there's so many different kinds. Is it a box cutter razor blade? Is it one that you scrape like that mom uses for the stove? You know, those like flat ones that are kind of rectangular?
No, I bet it was just like the ones you get at Home Depot.
Dude,
that's slaughter.
Yeah. That's a surgical knife.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know, dude. I feel... You know what I was talking to my friend about this, about Halloween, and saying that no kids go out anymore because of stuff like this. You know, they do have some valid reasons. Like, it's sketchy, there's weird people. Also, just kids aren't really kids anymore. And I was thinking, we kind of had the last childhood. Like, if you think about it, we had the last, I guess, youth where you were free to do whatever you wanted. You could go out wherever you wanted. You could do whatever you wanted. No one cared. Now kids are just so glued to their phones, they don't like go out. And obviously you get stories like this, which even defers more people to not go out.
Kids are just trying to be too cool. I feel like everyone's just growing up real quick.
I know,
You're just trying to move like past it. You're like, all right, as soon as you get a phone, like how many girls can have text? 3rd graders.
I mean, do you think like, you know, our little cousin went out?
No.
Yeah.
Like, why would he? They probably just hung out. They probably hung out. Some excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, yeah, I guess it's really not that big anymore.
And he's what? How old is he? 15, 16? Dude, that was like prime time to go out. You got away from home. If we were in our neighborhood, we were in someone else's neighborhood, like, you're away. You're like, dude, this is wild.
And you finally had the stamina to survive until like midnight.
I know, dude.
Going out with pillowcases.
I know.
Like, dude, kids who used to bring those plastic jack-o'-lanterns. It's like, dude, you're getting nothing. You have no idea what you're walking into.
Dude, it was all about the pillowcase.
You only need and it couldn't be like a white pillowcase. Dude, it needed some design.
When I was in like my peak prime of 1, being a kid, 2, of people handing it out, and 3, stealing, like, just for a backstory for people, when it said, please take 1, and there was no one outside with the bowl, I would just take
2 zeros.
I took the whole bowl, and I did not care. There was no rings back then. There was no video cameras. Like, I would just take the whole bowl, did not care, you know, who was coming. And I was usually first, dude. I was hunting for those bowls.
Dude, you would know. By like a couple years in, you knew who wasn't gonna be around for Halloween.
By the time that I was, yeah, exactly. By the time that I was going around the block or the neighborhood, Dude, my bag was so heavy. I was like carrying a
Yeah,
dead
dude.
person. I was like, dude, I gotta go. And I was so
You gotta
far
get
from home. I was at like the farthest. I was like, dude, I have another mile.
And nobody else is with you. There's no one else out. You're just like, one more.
I'll tell you, I was never
Hours.
thinking about razor blades. Maybe this guy was just getting jacked. Maybe this guy got so jacked. He was the guy. He was the guy that went after me. There's an empty bowl.
He's just throwing razor blades in.
He's like, you know what? When I'm an adult, I'm gonna get these kids back with razor blades.
He must have had the first. He must have had the first
Dude, it was
doorbell
like
cam.
7:30 and I was already ripping bowls out. I was like, dude, it's not even. I mean, it gets dark, but I was like, dude, it's not like 9:30. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but it's
7.
good stuff, and they were big bowls too. Like it was generally Snickers or Reese's.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a collection of stuff. Like you didn't have the Nerds and the Twix and the tiny Milky Ways. Like it was full Reese's cups.
Yeah.
And it was a big bowl,
Mm-hmm.
about 6 inches deep, 18-inch diameter.
Yeah,
and
they're
it was
big
like,
bowls.
thanks.
Um,
Please take one.
Yeah.
And yeah, those first people that went, they're like, what happened here? Or you just leave one right in the middle.
Just leave one. You're like, I didn't take them all.
Yeah.
Literally did not take them all. Also, remember when that lady used to give out king size? Dude, those were the best.
Yeah.
I tried to go back a couple times, but she was smart. She literally knew. She's like, look, I know you guys have already been here. I was like, dude, how do you know that? There's literally hundreds of kids.
Dude, you have the same costume.
I know, but I'm like, how do you remember with hundreds of kids?
My coworker talked to me about it, and what she would do when she was a kid is she'd go home, she'd hit the block, go home, change, hit the block, go home, change, hit the block.
God damn.
And I would have never, I didn't even know that was a thing. To this day, until she brought it up, I was like, God, you just found a loophole. You're a whole new person after that costume change.
That's crazy, because, well, I could never, like, I feel like mom and dad wouldn't know that I was scamming at that point. Like, they didn't know I was just dropping bowls into my my pillowcase.
Yeah, that's true. But dude, even like people were super generous with us because we would go to places that, like, we would hit every spot in the neighborhood, long driveway or not, and some people would just be lazy and they'd just be like, "Listen, kids aren't coming down
I was gonna say that.
down the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take all this candy."
Exactly.
And it was like, okay.
Yeah, they were just like, take 3 handfuls, and you're like, oh, nice.
But it was way bigger back then. Like now, I bet it's turning into like what other people would talk to us about. Because we would go around the block and people would be super, open. Like, yeah, mom would give out 2 or 3 handfuls. Everybody around us would give out at least a handful.
Yep.
Instead of 1 piece. Now it's like people aren't into it. But our
That's what
neighborhood's
I'm
also
saying.
changing too. Like we're not young anymore.
I know, but I just don't think, like, in general, kids are really going out. They have it, remember they had it at, like, the parking lot? And you had to, like, give it out of your, you had to give it out of your trunk of your car.
What?
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude, it was a serious thing. They were just like, yeah, we just don't want our kids to walk around the neighborhood. So everyone collectively, like, met in this parking lot. And it was, you had, quote unquote, like, a few hundred houses, which were cars, They're cars, which were houses, I'm sorry. And you go around and then just, like, people were just giving out some candy.
That's the place to hide the razor blades.
Yeah.
Dude, that's whack. You gotta earn it. And then everybody used to come here too. We kind of did have like the spot. That's the thing. We still did. Like we had tractors that went down the other day, up and down the street, and we had like stuff with popcorn on it. People would hook you up with like waters.
Like, what do you, like, it's so different because how do you do that in Huntington, Like, how do you go around a city? I guess, thinking about it, your square, is actually pretty big.
Yeah.
That's all you did. You just kind
of...
of...
block, yeah. It's the same thing that... What...
I guess you
just the 4th of July, they would have like a block party. So you'd know you're like little...
Yeah. You didn't really venture out
and
much. You just stick in your little...
there's a lot of houses. They're close.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go around the whole thing, as long as you're not like on a main road where you're gonna die, like you're pretty... You got a lot of opportunity. But over there, it would be weird. Like I'm so you.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like this is Halloween. Like you're going around the block. Yeah, you go down some dark streets or some dark people like live way back there, so you have to go through their whole thing, which wasn't even lit sometimes.
And you're just hoping that no one's in the woods with a box full of razors.
Yeah. Dude, remember that clown scare? Yeah, exactly, dude. I would die, dude. Imagine just seeing that, let alone with people. Just imagine seeing that at all.
Dude, but with the bags that we had, it was like prisoners and tube socks and bars of soap. Like, you would beat the shit out of someone, dude. you have so much weight on that.
Just one good swing and that guy's sailing.
Dude, you could knock someone out so easy. That was kind of cool though. Like, I didn't really experience it. Like, I bet that was really bad for a lot of people. But it was like, it's always interesting when something like that happens. Like, oh, this is movie-esque.
Oh, dude,
like,
you're watching it?
Yeah, like there are clowns about. Who would have guessed? Like, there's clowns in the woods, or there's the whole Slender Man thing or something. It's just it's interesting.
God. Dude, it's funny because it hasn't happened to you, but when it does happen, you're like, why?
Dude,
you're like, no.
But it was one of the best feelings when people would run out in the street and they just choose the wrong car.
Yeah.
And people would come out in bats. or you'd stop in the middle of the street and you'd see a clown and then they'd gun the car.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say. Dude, they would just run him over, dude.
It's like, dude, you're no clown. You're no It. What's the clown from It?
Man. I forgot.
Pagliaccio. No, that's just clown. It's
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Yeah.
Pennywise.
Dude. No.
The day that movie came out,
I still haven't even seen it too.
The second one.
Yeah.
Someone put a red balloon on a sewer grate in the middle of town.
Here?
Yeah.
Dude, that's good.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
Where
that's
was
super
that?
creative. It was
next to the town green?
No, it was near the Stop and Shop.
Oh, god damn, dude.
And so, but by the end of the day, it's like such a busy road that it ended up popping or whatever. But still, it was like, it's like, dude, that's so creative. I didn't even think about it, and then I went to work and I Googled, like, oh, when's it opening? And it was that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, thank God there's still creative people around.
Yeah. Good movie. I haven't, I mean, the first one was really good, but I heard the second one kind of was, the second ones always are.
Yeah, I heard it was, like,
it's not as...
almost, like, funny.
Oh,
They
really?
weren't taking it as serious. Or something. It was just, like, dumb. But I want to see the Joker. Not that that's in the same line as it. It's, like, kind of horror-y, but the Joker is, like, I just want to see someone go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That movie looks so good. I mean, I almost tried to stream it, and because I was so anxious to see it, because I'm not really a movie guy. Like, I mean, I like movies, but I just don't like going to the movie theater. And I was about to stream it, and it was just it was a cam, so it was such crappy quality, and I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, I can't I can't degrade.
Get our internet shut down?
No, I was going to stream it, so you didn't get in trouble for streaming, but I was just like, I can't watch a good movie as this in such low quality. Like, I can't just do
Yeah, that's true. It's best to just, wait it out, see when it comes.
Movies come out so fast these days.
Yeah, dude.
They used to
wait a year.
Dude, at least a year, and then now they come out like honestly 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Once it's in the theaters, they're already just piping.
Yeah,
They're making them in DVD and Blu-ray, or for streaming services, which is an even easier rip.
Yeah, and you know what I hate? I hate that you can buy it before you can rent it. So they first put out you can buy it for $20, and then in like 2 or 3 weeks you can rent it for like $5.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, no, just give it all out,
Business, dog. Business always wins. They have to make so much money. Like, their production budgets must be insane. How any of that works, I have no idea.
Well, this is exactly the problem that everyone's talking about, is that there's so many streaming services. You have Netflix, obviously, Hulu, you have HBO, now you have Apple, then you're going to have Disney. So you can't, there's just too much competition for people to consume to have like year after year, just like insane, growth.
Well, it's just turning into the whole. It's the same thing as TV. It's just these are now becoming channels.
Yeah, but I
That's all it
think
is.
a problem is like there's too much competition that people are basically going to do the opposite. I think they're going to revert back to torrenting because there's just so much.
Good.
Huh? I think there's just so much that it's like I can't afford. Like most people, that's why we wanted it. Original idea was like I don't want to watch commercials and I want it to be cheap. But now everyone has. There's so much spread out. It's like, yeah, you're right. It's not even as. It's less. It's more expensive than cable if you had them all.
I think people are just going to end up getting lazy again, and they're just going to get the most simple thing, which is TV, or just going to the movies, and that's it. Because it's just there's too much.
Yeah,
It's coming out. Like
I
if you want to only it's not worth getting the Disney streaming service if you only want to watch the Mandalorian or whatever's coming out.
Yeah, or Star Wars. I mean, I think Disney is going to survive because kids need Disney. It's kind of like you can't really be a kid without having some Disney in your life. But
Disney's also has just its hand in everything.
yeah, they have their hand in everything. Exactly.
Like they're gigantic.
They own like ESPN. They own Fox. They own so much stuff.
Mhm.
But what I'm trying to get at is like I was thinking at one point, why don't they just like it would kind of be nice if people just shared shows or movies. Like let's say there was a HBO show that's really popular, like let's just say Chernobyl, and that's super popular, and then they're gonna take it and they're gonna just hold on to it for as long as they can. But then they release it to Netflix for like 3 weeks, and they're like, hey, we're going to let you have the rights for 3 weeks, which helps. One, it's going to help HBO because Netflix is going to pay them. It's going to help Netflix because people are going to go to their site because they're not going to just buy the HBO Go or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps HBO because people are going to be like, holy crap, this show's so good on HBO. Why don't I just see what other shows they have? So I should buy it.
And then buy HBO. I mean, it would be a good idea, but
But everyone's greedy.
of course everyone's greedy. It's the same thing like business. Everybody could help each other out a little bit, but they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone's just trying to get their piece. The thing is,
That's what I'm saying. There's
we're
too many
built
pieces.
on a society that you always got to go up. You can't just sustain.
That's what we're trying
Always-
to say, dude. The bubble's about to pop,
Yo,
especially on the streaming
always
stuff.
got to go up. And the thing is, like, people look down on it. Like, you could have a small business that you're totally fine with like 6 employees, and eventually you just get like pushed on by investors or yourself, or you're expected like, oh, what if we have a bad year?
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
you gotta, instead of making $3 million, we gotta make at least 6.
Well, or a billion. You're talking about billions now.
Well,
but
Small
yeah.
business stuff.
Well, they were saying like how much money are these companies actually making because these shows now cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make.
Not a lot.
You know?
Not a ton.
So that's the thing is like if you actually look at Netflix, like there's a sliver, maybe what would you say, 10% is actually high quality, and then other 90 is just shit.
Well, it's also hard to find everything because there's so much in there.
Yeah, but
You
it's like
gotta go through
honestly,
the muck.
yeah, but there's every once in a while you get a Stranger Things.
Yeah, but that's true.
And that's what we're saying. Like, even though, see, that's the thing. That's why Apple is so basically the best is because they have so much money they can actually risk a little bit. These other companies are blowing so much, and then every once in a while you get a Stranger Things, which does pop. Does really make them popular, but.
Yeah, but that's just like TV. It's the same thing as they do. Like, there's channels that there's only a
That's what
couple
we're saying,
shows
yeah.
that carry the whole thing.
Right, exactly. That is
They're
exactly
gonna
the
just
thing.
change the ads. It's just gonna be have ads in it everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Because
But
right
then
now
it just
you're
turns
paying
back
to
into
not have ads.
right.
But there's no other way that they're gonna get money if they can't keep getting more people to buy it,
Exactly.
or people just keep sharing it with their friends and they get their account passwords. They're not making any money on that, so it's like, all right, let's get some ad revenue.
And that's exactly why I think
And that's
enough
stupid.
people are going to go back to torrenting. It's going to go again. It's going to go full circle
I
because
think people are too lazy.
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I don't know how big
people are literally paying.
torrenting was.
Everyone is willing to pay
Yep.
for no ads. So if you start chucking in ads, I think a lot now. Is it going to be everyone? No, of course not. Majority, yes, majority are going to be lazy. But let's say 30% are smart. 30% on the top and bottom line on your, next quarter's revenue is going to plummet that stock.
Yeah, but what if they do stuff just like YouTube? Like, I don't know what kind of traction YouTube Red has got, but I don't care that I have to watch a couple ads if you can skip them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to change it. I
Right.
mean, obviously, if you throw a minute ad in there like you would on TV or something, it's not going to be...
Yeah, but you're getting those 2 ads now. It's so annoying.
It is super annoying.
One
It's
ad
like-
of 2, and you're like, wait 5 seconds, and then skip. And
But
then
if
wait
you
5
do
seconds.
it, if you kind of do it the way that they do, like as long as it's really not in the middle, like I don't care waiting an extra, 30 seconds at the beginning.
Right.
If they're just gonna end up because they're gonna they get so much money. That's where it all comes from. 'Cause
Well,
you're
it's
just
all
trying to
ad
sell
revenue.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
Right.
So they use that as a platform and a medium to try and get people's eyes, and they do.
Okay.
And
There's a big debate about Facebook saying that they want Facebook to pull down all political advertisements.
Twitter did it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
Good idea.
Why?
What does it matter?
Dude, they make hand over fist so much money. Facebook makes so much money on ads all day. Every quarter they beat by huge numbers, 20, 30%, dude. And what I'm saying is, isn't that kind of hurting free speech? Like, isn't just them? First of all, it's their company, so Facebook should be able to do whatever they want. Obviously, you should regulate what's at least kind of legit, but they just are. How can you just throw away political ads? Like, that's why people go on Facebook, to just debate and share stuff and be like, look at this. This is why kale's awesome, and then you just share it.
Facebook also has that stupid algorithm that they know you react to stuff that gets you triggered.
Right.
So they'll keep sending you
But
more
that's
stuff.
everything. Huh?
Right. But they seem to be doing it the best. So they'll just keep showing you stuff that'll get you to interact more. That's all they're doing. They just want you to
Exactly.
have more time on there.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a big deal.
I heard that their political ad revenue is like less than 10%, but I don't know if that's real or not. I didn't look into it, but if that is only, let's just say it's 10%, that is a huge number.
It's a big number. I'm not saying it's not a big number, but I also don't think it's also them choosing it. If they choose to not make that money, then that's fine. I don't think any politician is going to get hurt.
Yeah, but isn't just sharing a news article basically doing the same thing?
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna change it. I'm assuming that it's gonna be from, like, the blue check mark or verified accounts that can't be
Yeah.
sending.
They were saying that they're gonna start paying. Facebook would start paying legit, not researchers.
Independent party to fact check.
No, legit. Like whatever. What are they called? Like news reporters. Yeah, reporters. Sorry.
Journals.
Yeah. So they're gonna just like start paying people to actually put out legit stuff. Because they've been literally allowing just like garbage with people have like misspelling in the title.
Facebook becomes NBC.
I guess that's what they're saying now. Is Facebook becoming like a news? Is it going to become like a news source?
I don't know how many people use it, but it clearly must be a lot that they even think about.
Dude, they just grew. They grew 10 million new subscribers or something in the last quarter.
Uses Facebook. Like, it is not our generation.
Let's see.
Like, who exactly is the demographic?
Right
that's
now,
adding to this?
today, according to this, in 2019, Facebook has over 2.9 billion people.
What's the
active?
Average, what's the age?
Huh?
What's the average age?
Let's see.
I'm gonna guess 37.
Average age 40.5 years old.
So they're getting a higher demographic. Their demographic
Yeah,
is
but
like between 35 and 45-year-olds.
Yeah.
The people who are triggered.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't
10% of U.S. users are 17 or younger, and even fewer are 65 or older.
Dude, they don't even want to learn how to use a computer, let alone Facebook. There's no way.
Yeah.
You can't touch that population with
It's kind of tricky.
anything that has an electrical charge.
Here's those memes where they're like, the meme is literally Winnie the Pooh going like this, and they're like, Mom, what is this? And then, Mom, this.
Oh yeah, the glasses up.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think we're kind of getting to a point where it's like, you should be responsible for your fact checking. Now, does that mean,
Like the
what
poster?
can you? No, you as the reader. And the poster should. I mean, you as a journalist, you should be only putting out true stuff, regardless if it's for your cause or against it. I mean, everyone has a biased opinion, but at least you should be being honest. But it's not about honesty. It's just about being first. It's about clickbait and getting money through that ad
I feel like
revenue.
it's slowing down a little bit. Although, again, this is not something that I have any knowledge about because I don't pay attention to any of it. Like, I don't really keep up with the news. I don't go on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not just like a frequent consumer of media,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like there's not a ton of people that, I don't know, I feel like there was a while, probably like 2012 to 2016, where it was just clickbait forever.
Yeah.
Just everything that you could get, and now it's like, it's kind of pulling back to the original journalism because there's like a journalistic code, and one of them is like make sure that your facts are right before you post anything, like no matter how long it takes. So I think people are like kind of realizing that.
Yeah, maybe more, like maybe 60%, maybe 70 are actually doing that, and there's still that 30% of garbage. But you're right, it was probably the opposite earlier. It was like 70% garbage.
Yeah, well, I just think, or they used whatever they knew, but now I think it's like kind of retracting a little bit. I don't know how much. This could also be completely wrong. That it's like if you see your competitors are slowing down in the news game and they're not going for clickbait, like chances are that you're going to end up doing the same thing and
Right.
you follow them. But if you also see other people going nuts, like I don't care if you're Fox or CNBC or whoever, or Al Jazeera or whoever you want to be or are, it's not sustainable because people just get tired of it after a while,
Right.
and they're just like, all right, then we're not going to listen to anyone now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like, it doesn't
saying.
matter.
That goes a bit, basically goes exactly back to that premise of like the streaming. It's like there's too much. You really can't do anything, so you're just gonna kind of screw them all, and you're just gonna pick out anything that you want.
Well, hopefully that happens.
Well-
Because this is not. You're not going to get people to stay. If you don't get people to stay, it's not worth it. It's like, what's the best value that any business has? It's a return customer.
Right.
Always.
Always.
If you can reinvest in a return customer, that's all that you need. So let's just keep buying.
But that's what they're doing. They're hooking you, and they know like every year everyone gathers on these websites, Twitter and Facebook, and they're just gonna debate politics, especially now. The next year, you're gonna have another presidential debate. So anyway, we can get out of this subject, but I don't know where to transition.
Yeah. Neither do I. What were we talking about earlier?
Halloween.
Oh, no. What if one beer would get you destroyed? Like, do you think that's what it was when we first figured out what
one beer was
alcohol
the standard.
No, I mean, one beer was a heavyweight. Like, what 20 beers is that somebody could drink today, like in one night, you're a heavyweight. If you can drink 20 beers in one night.
Just drink one beer.
One beer
Well, wouldn't they have like micro beers?
in your big dog.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have like they'd have like shots?
I don't know.
So it'd be like, oh,
You think
you're
our
taking
livers-
like 2 shots, dude. You must be blasted.
You must be ruined, you blackout. I don't know, dude. I would think. I mean, it mustn't have been that bad, but when we first started drinking as a species, we just had no tolerance. Like at all. Like, I don't know if our livers were used to it
Yeah.
whatsoever. We were just like pretty clean. Or maybe we had a gnarly tolerance. Like maybe we were so clean that our liver was like, this is nothing. And everyone was drinking 30 beer.
Dude, I don't know. The only people that were drinking 30 beers was, freaking Irish.
The Irish. The Irish.
Dude, talking about beers, there's this hilarious movie. It's called Good
Which one?
Boys. Good Boys with Seth Rogen. or he created it. He's actually not in it. Good Boys, but you gotta.
It's a movie?
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's like these little kids, and they like, one kid steals a beer. He's like, dude, he's like,
Isn't that the one that was like just in movies recently?
yeah. And he's like, he's like, dude, you drink beer? He's like, yeah, man, I've had like 3 or 4 sips. Like, dude, he's like, dude, 3 or 4 sips? No way. And they're all sipping it in the woods, and they're like, dude, take a swig, and you're like,
This is just, dude.
yeah, you gotta watch it. It's hilarious. But these boys like go around trying to act tough, and oh man, it's so funny. I just love those stories of like these kids.
Dude, that movie caught a lot of flack. They're promoting kids to drink and be like older than they really are, because they were like, they're like looking at porn or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
dude, he's like, in the beginning, he's playing like, I don't know, World of Warcraft or something. He like creates his character, and then he chooses a girl, and then he's like, and you know, you can make him whatever. And he just dials the boobs way over, huge, and he's like, awesome. Dude, that's what everyone did.
Yeah.
You know? Oh man, that was so funny.
Dude, what? Is that movie? Where did you watch it?
I streamed it online. I'll show you later, but man, that movie it was so funny.
Seth Rogen always pumping out good stuff.
Yeah, man, that guy is so funny.